My sister dumped her sick kid on my couch for one night, then disappeared for good. Years later, when she tried to swoop back in for the glory, my nephew held out car keys for me, and I said, "Give them to the woman who raised you." He walked past her without blinking. She fell apart on my porch. It started on a cold Seattle Wednesday. My buzzer went off, and I knew it was her. She barged in with a purse, an unzipped suitcase, and my nephew perched on top. He was 10, pale, wheezing, and clutching a nebulizer. "I'm meeting someone," she said, already turning for the door. "You said that Monday, Sunday, and last Thursday." She rolled her eyes. "He's got his meds. You know what to do." I blocked the doorway. "He's sick. You can't keep doing this." She smiled tight. "I need a break. I've been doing this alone." I shot back, "Between Cancun, Miami, and your fake spiritual retreats?" Her face snapped. "You're jealous you don't have kids, so you get to play mommy. Enjoy it." Then she left. Door slam. Silence. Just the machine's soft whir and his rough breathing. He curled up on my couch, trying to disappear. That night I called her. It rang forever. Then I heard giggles. "Lauren," she sang. I said, "Come get your son." She laughed. "I'm out of the country, babe. He's with you." I said, "You're his mother." She purred. "No, honey. You are now." And hung up. That was my hard proof, not paperwork. Her actual words, burned in. After that, he stopped asking when she'd be back. I did it anyway. I learned his meds and his triggers. I watched him apologize after coughing, like breathing was an inconvenience. I packed lunches, walked him to school, worked every job I could stack. Money stayed tight, but he got steady. At one clinic visit, his doctor studied his charts and smiled. His lungs are much better. I cried in my chair while he squeezed my hand. He didn't look surprised, just relieved. One night he said, quiet as dust, "Mom says I'm too much." I stared at him. She was wrong. Years later, a Stanford envelope showed up. He got in with a full scholarship. I cried on the front steps while he tried to breathe through it. A little later, I bought him a used hatchback he'd been eyeing forever. That same night, my phone lit up with an unknown number. "Lauren, hey, it's Vanessa," my sister chirped, like we were friends. I heard my son got into Stanford. "I'm so proud." I said, "You lost the right to say that." She laughed and kept going. "He's still my son, and I'll fly down for move-in weekend. He should see I care." I said, "Now? You want to show up now?" Her voice went sharp. "I'm his mother, and you don't get to erase that." I said, "You erased yourself. I'm just the one who stayed." She went quiet. I ended the call and deleted the number. I kept living. He called every Sunday. One day he Venmo'd me grocery money with "Buy the good cereal." Then my car started dying, and he showed up on my porch with bags of groceries. "We're car shopping tomorrow," he said. "It's not a gift, it's a thank you." I tried to refuse. He didn't blink. "You already did." The next day, he handed me the keys to a used sedan, the same way I once did for him. Later, when he brought his girlfriend home, he pointed at me over dinner and said, "I want you to meet the person who raised me." Vanessa's name never even came up. Then came the rainy Sunday. She finally crawled back. 3 hard knocks, then the doorbell. I opened it, and there she was, wet hair, smudged makeup, suitcase at her feet. "Surprise," she said. I figured it was time to see my son. My nephew came down the stairs and stopped like he hit a wall. She breathed his name like she owned it. She stepped forward with her hands out. Then he stared at her, jaw set, eyes flat. Next he said, "You're not a guest here." Again she reached for him, like she could grab time back. After that, he cut her off. "You're a stranger to me." Then her face crumpled, mascara streaking down in real time. Next she hissed at me, "You poisoned him against me." Again he didn't glance at me. "No, she saved me from you." He pulled the keys from his pocket and placed them in my hand. Then I said, "Give them to the woman who raised you." He walked past Vanessa like she was furniture, and she just folded. By the next morning, she was gone, no texts, no calls, just rainwater on my porch and silence. Later, at his wedding, he raised a glass and called me mom in front of everyone. He didn't look haunted. He looked relieved. And honestly, so did I. What would you have done if you were in my place?